For nearly 10 years, I was away from my family's valley. Work took me across the country. The cabin sat untouched in the mountains. What I didn't know was that everything had changed. The moment I returned, something felt different. New roads cut through the valley. Fresh houses stood where open land once stretched. Someone had been very busy. While I was gone, developers built an entire community nearby, and with it came an HOA. The residents believed the valley belonged to their neighborhood. They were about to learn otherwise. As I approached my cabin, I noticed HOA signs along my road. That didn't make any sense. This road had belonged to my family for generations. Before I even unpacked, the HOA president showed up. She demanded I leave immediately. Apparently, she believed I was trespassing. She pointed at my cabin and said, "Pack up and get out now." The confidence in her voice was unbelievable. She truly thought she owned the valley. I asked a simple question. "Who told you this land belongs to the HOA?" She proudly showed me a community map. That's when I started smiling. According to their map, the HOA controlled nearly the entire valley. There was only one problem. The map wasn't legally accurate. I pulled out the original deeds, signed decades before the HOA even existed. The expressions on their faces changed instantly. Confusion replaced confidence. That was when I revealed the truth. I didn't just own the cabin. I owned the creek, the forests, and nearly the entire valley. For a moment, nobody said a word. The HOA board members kept staring at the documents. Their confidence disappeared almost instantly. Rebecca looked like she'd seen a ghost. Rebecca refused to accept the truth. The very next day, she rushed to the county office. She expected officials to prove me wrong. Instead, they confirmed every word I said. The county records were crystal clear. The cabin wasn't the only thing I owned. The meadows, forests, roads, and creek were all included. The valley belonged to my family estate. That evening, Rebecca called an emergency HOA meeting. She insisted there had to be a mistake, but the evidence was impossible to ignore. Residents began questioning her leadership. Meanwhile, I went back to enjoying my property. The mountains were just as beautiful as I remembered. For me, the matter seemed settled. For the HOA, it was only beginning. Then another issue surfaced. Most HOA residents used roads crossing my property. For years, nobody had questioned it. Now everyone suddenly became interested. Rebecca started searching for legal loopholes. She reviewed contracts, maps, and easement records. Hour after hour, she looked for leverage, but she wasn't finding much. To remove all doubt, I hired professional surveyors. They carefully mapped every boundary. Their findings matched the original deeds exactly. New survey markers appeared throughout the valley. The boundaries were now impossible to dispute. Every measurement confirmed the same thing. The land belonged to me. Many homeowners were stunned. They had purchased homes believing HOA brochures. Now they realized those brochures had been misleading. Questions quickly turned into complaints. Attention shifted toward the original developer. Residents wanted to know who created the inaccurate maps. Finger-pointing started immediately. Nobody wanted responsibility. Within weeks, the HOA was in chaos. Residents demanded transparency. Trust in the board was collapsing, and Rebecca's problems were only getting worse. As the investigation continued, an important discovery was made. Hidden deep inside county archives were the original development agreements. Nobody had looked at them in years. What they revealed changed everything. The documents showed that the developer never purchased the valley. They only bought a small section near the entrance. Everything beyond that remained part of my family's property. The HOA had been operating on assumptions. When confronted with the documents, the original developer couldn't deny the facts. The marketing materials had exaggerated ownership claims, and now those mistakes were creating serious problems. Despite the evidence, the HOA decided to challenge the ownership records. They filed a legal claim against me. Rebecca believed the judge might side with them. I wasn't worried. My attorney had already reviewed every document. The chain of ownership was well documented. The facts were firmly on our side. Weeks of preparation followed. Every deed, survey, and contract was organized. We wanted the court to see the complete picture. There would be no room for confusion. At the center of the dispute was the access road. Most homeowners relied on it every day. The HOA claimed that gave them ownership rights. The law said otherwise. The hearing attracted enormous attention. Residents filled every available seat. Everyone wanted to know who truly owned the valley. The answer was finally coming. One by one, the documents were presented. The ownership history stretched back generations. Each record supported the same conclusion. The valley had never belonged to the HOA. By the end of the hearing, the HOA's argument was falling apart. Residents could see it happening in real time. Rebecca was running out of options.